Welcome back. It's me from the future again. Now, by this point, you should be sick and tired of me talking about updating packages. And you should feel comfortable updating packages yourself because, well, we've done it so many times. But I promise this is the last one because we've learned how to use Docker and Docker Compose, and you might be asking yourself, would the same updating principles apply here? Well, yes. So I have the Dockerized SmartBrain API here. And if I keep scrolling up, you'll see that everything is running like we've seen before. But we do have a couple of logs when we update things or when we run this. One is that we have this deprecated bcrypt-node.js warning here saying that, hey, bcrypt node.js is deprecated. You should use bcrypt or bcrypt.js. I'll leave a video afterwards explaining why we use bcrypt node.js and why it's fine for this situation. But overall, the project is working. But there's a few things that we can update. For example, we might want to go into the Docker file if we're using Docker and update our Node versions because Node has now a higher stable release. So we might want to just update this number to our desired Node version and see if our app still works. Hint, hint, I've tried this and yes, it still does. So you can update the Node version if you like. And you'll have to update it here as well. Or maybe you're using Docker Compose. And Docker Compose, let's say, has a higher version now, the 3.6. Well, you can upgrade that, and as long as it still has the features that you want, and hint, hint, yes, it still does, you can update this as well. Finally, we know about package.json and how we might want to go through package.json and update a few things. For example, maybe we don't want to use bcrypt node.js anymore because it's deprecated. We might want to look at newer version of Postgres or Redis because things are constantly being updated. And we already know how to do that with an npm update and just managing our packages. When it comes to maintaining code, this is part of our jobs as developers. We have to make sure that we try and keep our libraries up to date. We keep an eye on how things are changing. If there's new versions of libraries and there's breaking changes. Ideally, to keep our apps secure, we want to have the latest dependencies that have their vulnerabilities fixed. But at the same time, this adds cost to our development time, right? Because now we have to make sure our app still works with all these new changes. We have to make sure that there's no deprecations in our applications. So that's why you'll hear me say, especially later on in the course, how we want to minimize how many libraries and tools and dependencies we add to a project. Because every single tool, every single library that we add is another thing that we have to maintain. Luckily for you though, everything we've learned in this course up until now will most likely be stable and will continue to work as expected because people who create libraries aren't interested in breaking something or breaking our apps because, well, then their libraries wouldn't be popular. So they try and be as backwards compatible as possible. Well, until something is just too bad, they have to have breaking changes. But like I said, luckily for us, our app still works with the latest and greatest libraries. If you want, you can update them. But at the same time, because this is just a fun project for us and we don't have any actual users, we can keep the libraries the way they are. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.